The topic of this presentation is multitasking when technology can be a bad thing. It was prepared by Kathleen Page for Dr. Seal in MBAA 609. In the new techno-culture in the workplace and at home, Dr. Richard Gendreau poses the question, has the computer replaced the traditional role of the dog as man's best friend? The average American spends more time using media than in any other waking activity. Technology is offering a new way of life that increases productivity, mobility, connectivity, and even creativity. Through technology, we now have access to seemingly infinite amounts of information. But while technology is enhancing our productivity, it is also a large source of inefficiency. Interruptions are now almost constant, and in our new multitasking environment, it actually takes longer to complete tasks, and the tasks that are completed are not completed as well as if they had had dedicated attention. The term multitasking used to refer to the parallel processing abilities of computers, but it now defines the human attempt to simultaneously do as many things as possible, as quickly as possible, using as many technologies as possible. Many people, and most technology users, would say that constant access to the world and information is a good thing. But what if it's not? In the over-mediated world, Patrick Tucker explores the effects of communication systems on our value systems. He notes that media time, where people spend time together by using media in proximity to one another, has replaced traditional bonding activities, such as families sitting together at the dinner table or parents having conversations with their kids while driving in a car. There has been a lot more focus in the media lately about the broader issues raised by pervasive or invasive technology and information overload. While more time is being spent accessing information, less time is spent contemplating and reflecting. Some researchers assert that we may be losing our ability to maintain attention. Research shows that multitasking is a poor long-term strategy for learning. Studies using MRI technology to demonstrate the brain's response to handling multiple tasks reveal evidence of a response selection bottleneck that occurs when the brain is forced to respond to several stimuli at once. As a result, task switching leads to time lost as the brain determines which tasks to perform. It's been shown that multitasking lowers IQ as much as losing a night's sleep or smoking marijuana. Some researchers are optimistic and believe the brain can be trained to handle multitasking. But research also suggests that multitasking contributes to the release of stress hormones and adrenaline, which can cause long-term health problems if not controlled, and contributes to the loss of short-term memory. Other studies show that multitasking adversely affects how you learn. Even if you learn while multitasking, that learning is less flexible and more specialized, so you cannot retrieve the information as easily. People use different areas of the brain for learning and storing new information when they are distracted. Brain scans of people who are distracted or multitasking show activity in this striatum, a region of the brain involved in learning new skills. Brain scans of people who are not distracted show activity in the hippocampus, a region involved in storing and recalling information. The amount of time we spend immersed in media affects how we interact outside of media. The more time we spend using technology, the less time we spend nurturing personal relationships. Communication is about relationships, not technology, but our primary focus rests on the technology. Between email, instant messaging, and text messaging, people can go days without actually talking to another human being. Humans by nature are social creatures. What are the effects on our sense of well-being and self-worth when we are interacting primarily with gadgets? It's not just our personal lives that are changing. As technology becomes more pervasive, the distinction between our work and personal lives begins to blur more and more. A decline in our ability to focus is one of the negative side effects to the abundance of information that technology now provides. Research has concluded that only 1/10 of our day is spent thinking and reflecting. And though research has shown multitasking to be consistently counterproductive, unhealthy in the long run, and in the case of talking on the cell phone while driving, dangerous, it is also expected, encouraged, and basically essential. Or is it? Is our drive to be constantly wired necessary for our survival, or for our status in society? Information technology has enormous implications for education and learning. Access to a myriad of sources of information only enhances student research and connectivity, offers more opportunity to more people. Multitasking is the way of life for the Facebook generation, or people born after 1990, and also for Generation Y and Z, which consists of people born after 1978. With these generations, techno-abuses have become so common they've stopped being taboo. There is some concern now over students in the classroom and their use of technology to entertain themselves rather than pay attention. Are technology and media compromising their attention spans, their perspective, their humanity? What about their work ethic? If technology is changing the way people learn, what will the effects be on the generation of people born and raised in a world of multitasking? It may be years before anyone can answer that question. Maybe all this worry is for nothing. Maybe there will be some loss of traditions and values as we know them today, but maybe it's not entirely a bad thing. Revolutionary inventions seem always to be greeted with skepticism. Socrates feared that with the development of writing, people would stop using their memories and become forgetful. He also worried that ignorant people would be able to pretend to be knowledgeable with the large quantities of information writing would provide. With the printing press, there was concern that easy availability of books would make people intellectually lazy and weaken their minds. Others feared it would undermine religious authority. While all predictions about writing in the printing press may or may not have come to fruition, all of the benefits were unimaginable at the time. And the new generation of people entering the workforce are bringing new skills to the table. Even if multitasking impairs our ability to complete individual tasks, maybe that's not the priority anymore. Being in touch and engaged may be much more important than working in a linear way, and the ability to adapt is obviously crucial in today's fast-changing business environments. There is a time and place for technology, and maybe an educational structure that nurtures interpersonal intelligence is necessary. The goal should be to limit and balance our current practices of constant connectivity, and learn to cultivate slower, quieter, more reflective practices in our daily lives. The bottom line is that we have a choice. Technology doesn't create values. The people using technology do. In 2004, the Conference on Information, Silence, and Sanctuary was organized in Seattle to address the issues of information overload and the acceleration of everyday life. The conference framed the issues as a new environmental challenge, information environmentalism. And just as people have mobilized to reverse the negative impacts of environmental pollution, so too can they begin to push back on technology pollution and the unintended consequences that have been discussed.